Hi everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we are going to see C programming concepts. Observe the introduction. The C programming language was developed in the early 1970s by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories. Initially, C was designed for implementing the system softwares like operating system functions, compilers, etc. But nowadays C is widely used for developing the software applications also. Just like we will see the word processing applications, any user-friendly applications like uh, some simple calculator applications and word applications, any applications now we see in real world are using the C programming language also. Now see, the question why do we need a programming language is, we know that as a human we can able to solve a question up to a particular range, but we know the process of how to solving that. For example, if somebody asks you to print a 2 table, we will write like this: 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, like that we can tell. If somebody asks you to write a table of this, you will think of, right, because you don't know how big it was. You need to multiply it, right? You need to slowly multiply one by one and you need to complete the table. You can get it definitely, but it takes time. But we know that computers can do this type of computations very easily, right? So what we will do is, with our intelligence and the computation power of the computers, what we will do is we will mix up these two, which means we will tell the computer how to do or what to do through a program. Okay, and in order to write the program, we will use a programming language like C or any programming language we can use. Hold a minute, let me clear off all the things. See, as a computer, it knows only the binary or the machine level instructions like zeros and ones. But as a human, we will we are very much familiar with general languages like English or anything which is simpler for us. Okay. Now what we will do is we will write our code using a high level programming language like C. Okay. And we will use the compilers to convert those high level statements into the machine level byte code. Okay. Now what will happen is this byte code will be converted, which is nothing but the byte code, we can call it as a machine code. Okay. This machine code will work into the systems and it will do the task for us. Okay. Now see here, what will be the structure of a C program generally? The C program will generally have this type of structure. The documentation section, which is nothing but generally the comments or any documentation related to our program. And the next one is the header section, is nothing but if you want to link any headers, we will see, right? In any general C programming, we will write like this: hash include stdio.h, which means what? We are including some headers, means what? These headers will contain some predefined built-in functions and codes. We will just include it in our program so that we will use those functions without defining them. Okay, we won't write the code for them, we will just include and we will use them. For example, standard input output is a library, is a header file. Standard library is a header file. Math is a header file. For example, if I include the math header, I can use a square root function, power function, all those functions without writing a lot of code. Definition, and this is a global declaration section, is all about declaring our variables or defining any structures and methods globally. Okay, globally means these will be accessed throughout this file. Okay, local means what? These are local to the any method or a block. Okay, we can see the main method means what? Every C program will have a main method and the execution will start from there itself. And the declarations and executable statements we will write here, which are local to this method only. And we can write any number of user defined methods to perform our task. Okay, we will just call that user defined method and it will do the task for us and we will see our results. Okay, and this is all about structure of a C program. See the keywords. As I said you, any programming language, for example, any general language like English, what do we have? We have alphabets, right? These are predefined. We should follow the alphabets as it is. We will follow their sound, right? This is pronounced as A, this is pronounced as B, this is pronounced as C. We will follow it blindly because these are made as a mandatory. You need to follow it in order to write the words and sentences. Clear? Just like that, every programming language will have some keywords which are provided by the developer itself. Okay. Now, these are having some special purpose and meaning. Means, for example, if I want to check whether it is a greater than or a not, means I will use this symbol. This symbol, like this, these are all symbols are mandatory to be followed. And you can see your keyword C, auto, break, case, character. These are all some of the keywords that are provided by the C developers. Okay, every keyword having some purpose, and as we further progress in the course, we will see where to use and how to use all these keywords. Now see this identifiers and variables concept. Every programming language, in order to store something, we will use identifiers, right? It is nothing but, for example, if we write like this, int a equal to 10, which means what? Here this is the variable or the identifier. It represents what? It represents the name of a memory location. See, variable is nothing but a name given to the memory location. Let this is our memory in the system. We will name it as A. And 10 is the value that we are going to store inside our memory. 10 is stored here. And int is what? The type of data that we are storing, means it is of integer type. Integer means what? Negative values, 0, and the positive values. Okay, only the integers, not the decimal values. Okay, in this way you need to take the variables, and there are certain rules to be followed in naming the variable. The rules are here. See, all variable names must be begin with alphabet or an underscore. It should not start with the digit, and once it started with a letter alphabet, it can have the numbers and it can have the letters from second letter onwards. Uppercase and the lowercase alphabets or the variables are different, right? Because the case sensitive is followed inside the C for variable names. Okay, and you cannot use the reserved words or keywords as we seen earlier slide. This one, you should not use this the keywords as your variable names because these are having some special purpose, right? Now let's see some valid ones and invalid ones. Okay, let me erase the content. See, for example, if I taken like this, int my variable 1 equal to 10. See, it is starting with the alphabet. Yes. It is not starting with the digit. Yes. It is after the first letter. It can have the alphabet, digits or underscores. Yes, it is following this rule. Uppercase and lowercase are different, which means what? If I taken like this, my underscore where 1 equal to 20, which means what? This variable is different from this variable because case sensitiveness will be considered. Okay, and you cannot use the reserved words. For example, if I declared int if equal to 10, you see, if is a reserved word, right? So you cannot use it. It is not the good one. Okay, now let me tell you some invalid ones. Okay, let me clear up the things. Now invalid ones, see, if I written like this, int 1 at the rate 3, yes, I equal to 10 means, observe here, see, starting with the digit, so this rule is violated, and it has the alphabets, but it was not starting with the alphabet. This rule is violated. After the first letter we can have anything, but the special characters are not allowed. So this rule is also violated. This is a general rule, right? Uppercase or lowercase are different, and it is also general rule like reserved words are not used. Now, as you can see, if any of the rules is violated, then you can say that it is not a valid variable name. Okay, and the best suggestion is use meaningful names. Okay, for example, if I want to store the age of a person, take the variable name as age. That's why you can able to understand what it is going to store. So while programming, use the meaningful names. Okay, and the constants are nothing but the variables whose values won't get modified in the entire program. You will use the const keyword. If you use the const keyword, the value of the variable will not be modified as we move further in the entire program. For example, if it is having 20 lines, if you declare it is a constant, in the below rest of the 19 lines, you can't modify its value. Okay. And this is all about today's session, and see you in the next session with more concepts of C. Please do like and subscribe to our channel for more videos.